today's EPFA News, we are delighted to welcome the star of a docu-movie from Japan. We meet the Executive Vice President of the United States Power Soccer Association. We hear more about this year's Football for All leadership program in Portugal. We hear from another maturing young man from Northern Ireland. EPFA News' Italian presence continues. And a reminder of the upcoming EPFA and Conversation Talk. Welcome. This is EPFA News. We are going to start off today's EPFA News with our first time featuring a news item from Japan, as we meet one of the star athletes from a movie documentary that has been 6 years in the making. Let us find out more now.
Hi everyone, I'm Mari Nagaoka. I'm 30 years old, and I'm Japanese. I belong to a power chair football club team called Yokohama Crackers in Japan, and I'm a captain of the club team now. When I was 7 years old, I found out some adaptive sports and the team of facilities for adaptive sports. One of them was power chair football. It was very impressive and powerful for me, so I became crazy about power chair football. I have been playing power chair football since I was 8 years old. And then, my team has won the national championship 4 times in the past. In addition, Yokohama Crackers have produced many Japanese national team players. I am one of those people. And also, I have participated in EPFA Cup in 2013 and 2019. I'd like to connect with players from all over the world through power chair football, and I hope to do my best able to participate in the World Cup 2022. My lifestyle has largely changed by COVID-19. We don't go out since government declared a state of emergency by spread of infection. Of course, I can't practice and I can't meet my teammates. So, some team members made guidelines for to do practice safely. And then, we restarted the practice after coronavirus a little bit settled down. But I'm still worried about it because recently COVID-19 is going around again in Japan. So we think seriously about restart of practice, and I'll do things what I can do now. In 2020, it couldn't hold any official competitions in Japan because of COVID-19 spread. In this year, the competition has been scheduled, but we can't receive a corona vaccine yet. I'm not sure whether competition can hold if coronavirus rapid spread. I hope that we can play power chair football a day sooner. The Kick is a power chair football documentary film in Japan. This film was produced by Mr. Nakamura. He is a film director. I met with him to the power chair football game at the first time in 2011. He watched the game I played. He felt my passion for power chair football and then he started shooting of the film. He kept shooting the film for Japan national team players and others until the World Cup in 2017 for 6 years. It is depicted players who don't pass the selection of the Japan representative, players who were active in the competitions, their daily life, their love, and their strong passion for power chair football in this movie, and so on. I think that the passion for power chair football is each country's players the same too. I'd appreciate if you could take and watch this movie.
日の丸を背負うって難しいことだと思うんですけど、絶対に必要なことって何ですかね。
前にもし倒れたらば自分でリカバーで
起き上がれない。たくさんのドクターからもその体でスポーツをするのはダメですと何度も言われました。
人工呼吸器使わないといけないっていうのがもう見た瞬間にこういうマスクもあるんだよって言って。
早くやりてえ試合。
飛行機に乗るにはどうしたらいいですかね。
なくてはならない存在なので、電動車椅子サッカーパーチャーフットボールっていう存在が僕にとって生活の中に定着してるというか、
生き様がいいっていうか。
41になって初めてのワールドカップなんで。
6回のうち1回だよお前、言ってんだよ。
6本うちの3本にあれば迷うんですよ。
お前らがちょろちょろ無駄な動きしてるからだよ。
サッカー14年ぐらいやってますけど、男の中に1人女なんで、そんな中で多分彼は唯一なんか女の子扱いというか。
正直本当サッカーするのきついんですけど、なんかやりたくなっちゃうんですよなんか。
Thank you to Mary for sharing her story with us. We continue our international theme in today's EPFA news with an athlete from the United States of America who realized his ambition to make Team USA and represented his country at the World Cup in 2017, and also decided to try and contribute to the direction of the sport in the United States by joining the board of the United States Power Soccer Association.
Hello everyone, my name is Nathan Mayer, and I am an athlete for the Minnesota Shockwave and the United States Power Soccer National Team. And I hope everyone is doing well. This has been a really rough year for everyone, I'm sure, with everything going on. But I just want to talk to you today about kind of my brief journey through soccer and how I got started to where I am now, and kind of how COVID has impacted the last year for me and for the United States kind of as a whole. So I got started playing power soccer back when I was very young. I believe I was around 7 years old, and sports was always a big thing for my family, and I wanted to be an athlete. And having a disability, spinal muscular atrophy, we weren't quite sure if I was going to be able to be an athlete. But very early I got involved in different sports, like t-ball and floor hockey and stuff like that. But I'm sure, as most of us have experience with those type of sports, they're great, and they're everything that a kid wants to have But for me, I wanted something more competitive and more fast and stuff like that. But at the time, that was the only sports that we really knew about. And we were at a T-ball tournament one day, and a very hot day out. I pretty much remember just soaking in sweat. And somebody came up to us and said, "Hey, have you heard of power soccer?" And we're like, "No." So I believe it was the next weekend. We went to a practice, and I fell in love in a heartbeat. The moment I strapped on the plastic guard, I'm sure some of us remember those days. But the plastic guard and the big ball, and I loved it. I fell in love right there, and yeah, that's where my journey started. And I started going to different national tournaments throughout the U.S. And I knew from day one that I wanted to be on the U.S. national team and represent our country. And I got the opportunity to try out back in 2014 and make that squad. And not many people thought I would make that squad. And I took that as motivation to work hard and get in the gym. And I believe at one time I was getting in the gym 4 or 5 days a week and just training, working on my game. And I had the absolute honor of being able to compete in the 2017 World Cup in Kissimmee, Florida for Team USA. And that was one of the biggest honors I've ever had. Being able to represent your country and compete at a World Cup. And I was able to start as the goalkeeper for Team USA. And like I said, that was one of the biggest honors that I can ever have, especially knowing kind of a doubt that I had, even in myself. Even I didn't think that I had the chance, but I kind of took that perspective and used that as motivation to get into the gym and train and prove to everyone and myself that I could be on that team, and I would not trade those hard times, those failures in the gym, and the struggles I had physically with SMA. I wouldn't trade any of those moments for being on the team, and I loved it. And now I was able to compete in the Copa tournament back in 2019, which feels so long ago with the whole pandemic. But outside of being an athlete, I knew I wanted to have a bigger impact on the sport. And at first I wasn't really sure how to do that. The sport always gave me a lot and allowed me to be an athlete and be the person that I wanted to be, and I wanted a way to give back to that. And at first I wasn't really sure how, and then trying to find the good things out of this pandemic. Out of boredom, one day I decided that maybe I could have an impact by being on the USPSA, which is the United States Power Soccer Association board of directors. And I thought, why not? Sure, like I said, one day I was kind of bored and I sent in the application but I just didn't do it out of boredom. I knew I wanted to make an impact, and I knew I could make an impact being on that board. So I promise I didn't send it in just as I was bored, but no, I knew I could make an impact that way. And in June of 2020, I took over as the executive vice president for the USPSA, and I'm a part of an incredible board that is all athletes, and it's been an amazing experience to be on this board and to have some impact on the sport. And I don't think any of us knew that we would have to make the decisions that we would have to make in regards to the pandemic. In some ways, taking away at times the sport that we all love for the safety of everyone. And those decisions were not easy, but we knew that we had to protect not only just our athletes in the USPSA, but our families, our fans, our staff, everyone involved. We knew we had to protect everyone. And one thing I love about power soccer is the family atmosphere of it and the family camaraderie of it. And we knew that we couldn't lose more members of our family. Our sport is sensitive enough in regards to our disabilities, and we just didn't want to go through more loss than we had to. So although the decisions were hard to make, we knew we had to protect everyone involved. And like I said, that wasn't a decision that I don't think any of us board members thought we would have to make. But luckily we were able to get through it, and we did end up having to cancel all of our tournaments and practices and stuff like that around the country as a league. Our national tournament is not happening this year. But we've been slowly trying to find ways to start power soccer again. And the first step in that was having our U.S. national team back on the floor recently. And switching back to the athlete mentality, being at that training camp and being with the team was an amazing feeling. And we as a team reflected a lot throughout the weekend, just saying how incredible it was that we were all able to be together and kind of feel normal again. And it was kind of cool to see how we grew from being off. And I know that sounds weird, but sometimes you need to take a step back and kind of reset your mind. And that's what happened with us. Like we were able to reset, kind of take a step back, and then come back here and hit the floor again and really feel good. So that feeling was really cool to kind of shake the rust off. Of course, there's going to be some rust, but overall, it was a really cool moment to be able to be back on the floor with your teammates and really work towards something that we're all going for. So yeah, it's been a great experience. I hope that kind of gives a little bit of a glimpse into my life a little bit. I know at times I can be kind of quiet and kind of reserved, but I love the game of power soccer. I love every aspect of it. I love the mental side, the physical side, and just everything about it. Being competitive, being a family, being able to be an athlete like nobody expected me, and I'm sure most of us, to be at our early parts of our lives. So, yeah, I really hope everyone is doing well. I can't wait to see all of you, hopefully at the next international event. Please reach out to me on social media, and if you have any questions or comments or want to talk soccer or want to talk life, I'm very open to that. So I hope everyone is doing well and takes care, and I'm going to stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.
With the improving situation, it is that time again, when we can look with some optimism to join our great friends Integrated Dreams and the Football for All Leadership Programme following the launch of the 2021-22 edition and look to continue our sponsorship of an EPFA participant. Scheduled to take place in the beautiful city of Lisbon next October, we will soon launch on our social media the application process to be considered for the sponsorship. We hope we can continue the tradition since the foundation of this program with having PowerChair football participants to enjoy the challenges of deciding on a project to bring to the leadership program and have it analyzed and critiqued by a panel of very professional and knowledgeable and successful people from the business of sport, and also enjoy the guest speakers and workshops and the social aspect of meeting others from around the world and enjoying some special football-themed excursions in Lisbon. And if we haven't convinced you yet to apply, we will get Jose to finish the job now.
Everyone, I'm here today to share a great news together with you. The Football for All Leadership Program will be back again this year. The next edition of the program will take place in the warm and beautiful city of Lisbon from 10 to 17 October this year. From our side, we are glad to invite the PowerChair football community to join us and that you could all take part in this generation of disabled leaders in football and of leaders who will contribute for a better future of our game. Besides the days in Lisbon, we'll also have a graduation ceremony that will be the end of this program in June 2022, taking place at the Emirates Stadium in London. More news will be available soon in the EPFA social networks, and also not only news regarding the applications and the program, but also news regarding scholarships that will be soon launched. Looking forward to see you all here in Lisbon in October, and that we can all together contribute for a more inclusive and united football. See you soon!
We hear now from another young maturing athlete who found PowerChair football at just the right time and has enjoyed many years since, for club and country.
So from a young age, I've always loved football, and ever since I wasn't able to walk, it's been a problem for me to try and find a way to play football. So my parents were searching hard to try and find somewhere, and I found Lightning PowerChair Football Club, and since the first training session I really enjoyed it.
How long have you
Probably about 6 years. I find it really exciting how I can still compete at a competitive level, despite my disability. Probably the winning match to qualify for the World Cup against Finland. It means everything. I am very passionate and proud of myself. I would like to play for as long as possible and hopefully score my first goal for Northern Ireland. I admire my fellow teammate Jason Vernon and England goalkeeper Chris Gordon. I really enjoy playing computer games and hanging out with my friends.
EPFA news these days would not be complete without another passionate and enthusiastic Italian player, and fresh from the recent announcement of their twinning with Aspire PowerChair Sports Club, we have another player from Olta Sport.
Ciao, sono Francesco Calelli
vivo a Biceglie e sono un atleta della Oltresport di Trani. Il mio ricordo più bello è di recente, una domenica mattina al Palasport di Biceglie, dove ci siamo affrontati con tanto agonismo. È stata una bella partita anche perché c'era tanta gente che ci dava tanta adrenalina e forza di andare sempre avanti. È stata una domenica bellissima. Le mie ambizioni più grandi sono, come ogni atleta, è quella di raggiungere gli obiettivi molto più importanti, quale può essere la nazionale italiana oppure le varie coppe di qualche in ambito di qualche club. Allora, mi entusiasma più che altro ogni mercoledì che ci incontriamo con tutti i miei colleghi, più che altro sono amici, ma che dico amici, è tutta una famiglia, dove c'è, oltre all'agonismo, più che altro c'è tanta, ma tanta voglia di stare insieme per formare una vera comunità e stare bene nel divertirsi a giocare a questo splendido sport.
Finally, we would like to remind you about EPFA's first in a series of In Conversation talks that will be taking place on Saturday, May 1st at 4 p.m. Spanish time, in collaboration with the Asociación de Clubs Paucheres España and our UEFA partners with Spanish legend Gazica Mendieta. Well-known Spanish journalist Nacho Pena will lead the conversation with Mendieta about his club and international career. You can still register for the Mendieta talk on the posts on EPFA's social media. Remember, get in contact with EPFA News at the email below, and until next time, take care.